All right, so now what we're gonna do is a house hack analysis. So if you just watch the buy and hold analysis, these are exact same numbers. So it's the same deal, only in this scenario, the person buying it is actually gonna live in it. So you're gonna get an owner-occupant loan and live in the property. I don't know if this is 1 or 2 words. All right, so everything's the same. Guy still wants $650, 5%. We're going to increase rent from $46 to $540 plus $200, so plus $50 per unit for utility recovery. And I'm not even, and we could put some stuff in here, but let's just keep it simple. All right, so in this case, you got this unit where you live. So theoretically, you are going to pay yourself, when you increase everybody else's rent, these other 3 people's rent, you're going to pay yourself $13.50 a month in rent. Okay, so it's kind of weird, but you're going to just think of it that way. I pay rent of $13.50. The fact that I'm my own landlord is irrelevant. Okay, so here we go. Now, literally all the expenses are the same. Okay, you're going to improve the property a little bit. Now your ROI, look at this. Negative $675 a month. How could the cash flow be so much less if everything else was the same? It's because you only put a 5% down payment down. On the buy and hold, you had 25% down. So this is what makes house hacking so powerful, is the amount of down payment required. I know a lot of people with $30,000. I know a lot less people with $153,000 sitting in their account waiting to be deployed. Okay, so that's there. Your interest rate is slightly lower for an owner-occupant loan. That's just assumed. Okay. Then you go here, so negative 675. So at first, negative 675 plus $13.50 a month is what your quote-unquote rent / mortgage payment is going to be. Once you increase everybody's rent and their utilities, you're going to be making $275 minus the $13.75. So the way I did this before, I'm just going to add, so we can do a little calculation here. So your cash flow is $275. So you pay $13.50, but then you get back $275. So you're effectively paying a rent of $1,075 a month. Okay, so obviously you're still paying rent. That's substantially less than market rent, but you're still building your wealth. Now the other thing you can do, since you're living there, depending on your skill set, maybe you're going to do some work yourself. So this cost, you can kind of house hack your way. When something breaks, if you know how, you can fix it. You will still have some cost of the actual material, but if you can reduce this by, let's say, 40%, this just went down. And now property management, you could probably self-manage this thing. Maybe you'll want some help with the lease-up portion. Okay, so let's just call this, let's just assume there's going to be 1 turnover a year, and they're going to charge you, we wouldn't charge you this much. Let's say we charged 0.75 times monthly rent. Okay, so that just went down substantially. So now you got a monthly cash flow of $716. Okay, so now your payment, your effective payment is $634 a month. Okay, and that's the first year. So the first year, and then let's say the second year, you raise everybody's rent up another $50, including yours, to be fair. Okay, now you're here, you're now at 906, 444. Okay, and you can keep playing with this. Let's say you put down, instead of 5%, you put down, let's say 7%. 971. So it won't take you much longer to break even. Now, the other thing is, as you recall in the other deal, we were going to offer $615. Okay, so let's say you're going to offer $625. You still put 5% down. Woo! Okay, 326. You're starting to see so the first year, if you can get this guy down to 625, you're paying $500 a month of rent to yourself. You're managing your own property. You're doing a little bit of the work, and you're only out $32,000. Now this is something that you can do because the median price point of a house in the city of Seattle is, I believe, last time I looked, $690. So you're paying less than median price point, and you're getting $4,050 a month back, not even counting what you're doing. Now this is just a traditional fourplex. You could do this with other types of properties, which I'll talk about in other videos, but this is the basics of how you look at these deals, how you play with the numbers, and I encourage you to play with this. Like if you can get this to 4%, and you know your interest rate is actually 4.1, and you put down 7%, and you know whatever. Oh, you can charge for parking. Let's say you charge 2 people for pets, and you charge for parking, and you actually put in washer dryer, so it's gonna be like 80. What all this will do, I mean, look at what I just did. That's an additional $280 a month. See? And I could sit here and show you this all day, but the easiest way to understand this, I mean, woo, that's a good one. The easiest way to understand, I mean, you could just do this. Fine. It's getting closer. I mean, yeah, in this case, you're paying $4. Yeah. Boom. So as you play with these numbers, you have to understand the relationships between what all these things are going to do and how it ultimately affects the actual amount that ends up right here and how that's going to happen. And then you have to test yourself like, okay, is that actually realistic? You really have to know. So play with this, do some deals off of Zillow or whatever, just to understand the numbers and the figures. So when we send you these type of deals, you know what you're looking at, and we don't have to sit there and go back and forth. You need to fully understand what it is that you're buying and the financials behind it.